What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the walkthrough, episode 18. So we just finished up the Scorpion River Catacombs, and to start things off today, we're going to warp here to the Finger Ruins. We are going to pretty much complete this entire side quest, and then probably throw in some extra after that even. So this is going to be a jam-packed episode, another one. Might go over an hour, just like the last one. We'll see. Just however long it takes is however long it takes. I'm going to pass the time here until morning. Well, it already is morning. Okay, how about that? Let's pass the time until noon. Get a little bit of extra visibility in here. All right, there we go. Much better. So first thing we're going to do here is go kind of to this area over here. And I mentioned it earlier in a previous episode when we went to the Cathedral, and I did not show it, but I mentioned it, that there are these coffins that act as remembrance duplicators if you want to use them, similar to the Mausoleums in the base game. Although in this, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to fight anything. You just walk up to the coffin and then you can duplicate it there. And it works for remembrances that are from the base game and from the DLC as well. So as far as I know, there's 3 of these coffins in the DLC. This is one of them. I'm going to show you now. So right here, you can examine remains, and then you can use this to duplicate a remembrance. So from here, we're going to descend. Our ultimate goal is right here in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this on the map. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of finger creepers around here. And there are these other slug-like enemies as well that shoot projectiles. Can be kind of annoying, but all around the kind of outside, there's the slug enemies. Kill these. They can drop crafting materials, but they do shoot projectiles. They are quite annoying. If you want to do kind of a lap around the outer perimeter, there are going to be some items that you can use for crafting. They're called finger mimics. Let me see if I can find a couple of them here. Oh, I just got nailed by a finger creeper's stun. Trying to get up here. Yeah, this area is quite annoying with all of the enemies around here. See if I can find something for you guys. No, that's just a skull and an annoying. There we go. Here's a finger mimic. You kind of do a loop around the outer perimeter. You see this, the area here, the perimeter of this area is quite vast. So it's going to take a while. So I'm not going to go around the whole thing, but I'm going to show a couple examples of what you can pick up around here. Here we got a nail stone. So yeah, the nail stones and the finger mimics are going to be the main things that you pick up around here. If you kill those slugs, they have a chance of dropping another type of material, and they're going to be used for crafting certain recipes. But yeah, it's mainly around this outer loop here. If you want to make a circle, and it'll take you a few minutes just because it is such a big area here. You want to pick up a few of those materials. Be my guest, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing that here. We're going to move things along. And to do that, we're going to go to that marker that we put in the center. Oh, we got a hand that just dropped down, but right here, another nail stone. And be careful. Yeah, that purple beam that they shoot, that those larger hands shoot, can stun you, and then they'll run up and grab you and do a bunch of damage. So just watch out for that. I'm trying to find a gap to jump through here. It's like blocked off. I'm trying to check my map, but it's... Can I squeeze through one of these? No. Guess I picked the wrong spot. There we go. And that was a big wall that I was stuck behind. But anyway, you guys get the point. So when we went to the Cathedral, we talked to Emir, and he gave us the whistle. The whistle allows us to blow this horn here. If you do not have the whistle from him, you can't blow it yet, so make sure that you get that first. And right after we blow this, we're going to go right back to the Cathedral. Anyways, to show you guys kind of where that whole thing is. And so for blowing that, we get the Crimson Sea Talisman +1. I believe that increases the healing capacity of your red flask. So you're going to get much more healing back if you use it. So we're back to the Cathedral. And we're going to report back to Ymir. Before we do that, I'm going to show you guys the coffin here. I remember I mentioned it in the following episode because I forgot to show it when we actually came here the first time. But the actual coffin's like right around here. It's like right outside this graveyard. Yeah, there it is, right in front of us. So there's the coffin. That's the second one. And we're actually going to see the third one in this episode as well. So just FYI. And this side quest is rather dialogue heavy, so I'm probably going to find myself skipping through at least portions of the dialogue. Not completely, but I'm not going to, let them speak all of their lines because it's going to take forever if we do that. All right, so let's talk to Ymir.
Oh, there you are. The exalted timbre of the bell has reached these ears of mine. Gracious, the starry sky is only your fate. Now, these...
So he gives us a map to the second ruins that we're going to need to go to in the Beloved Stardust. This is a talisman. I believe it decreases your casting time, but increases the damage you take.
Think nothing of it. I have made my decision. May the gleaming...
All right, so now we can study sorceries. He has new sorceries that you can purchase. The Glintstone Nail and Glintstone Nails.
I fear that you have borne witness the conceits, the hypocrisy of the world built upon the Erdtree. Is there no hope? The answer, sadly, there never was any hope. They were each of them defective, Marika herself. And this is what troubles me. No matter our efforts, and we have little root. Ever young Mikola saw things for what they were. He knew that his bloodline was tainted. A tragedy, if ever, that he would feel compelled to renounce. Heaven in the blame lays.
All right, so we find out that he is not aligned with Marika.
The gleaming stars guide you evermore.
That's kind of the gist of it. Map to old ruins received. So this shows us the map. It's basically right there. We're gonna go there in just a bit. So we're gonna talk to Jolan as well.
How did Count Ymir reward you with that? Then I see you have gained his and therefore I am Yolan. The night is your... Don't get the wrong, we are neither friends. I am merely honoring... Enough of you.
Okay, so she's still kind of short, but still had more to say. So if we rest at the Grace... You'll notice Ymir is gone. We can approach the throne. Interact with it. Going to take us to a secret place. All the way down the ladder. And there are more of the craftables, the finger mimic stuff. Eventually we're going to get invaded. There we go. Oh, by Anna. I think this is Yolan's sister. I'm not completely sure, but it would make sense. She's wearing the same armor. And she has these claws, which for killing her, we get the Claws of Night. Very good weapon. Let's see. Let's check it out. Yeah, scales scales exclusively with dex. But they're good for up close. They actually have a projectile as well. And they do blood buildup. Very cool weapon for dex builds. We've got the Finger Weaver's Cookbook 2, along with some finger mimics. And there's another whistle up there, but we cannot interact with it yet, so we're not going to go all the way. What we're going to do is actually just warp back here to the Cathedral. Now he's going to be back.
Another bad dream, Yuri. Put that rotten thing out of your mind. That tangled mess can't hurt you.
So you notice he's cradling one of those finger creepers. You called him Yuri.
Did you espy something unsight? Well, put it as stars will free yourself of any misconception. Oh, hello.
So nothing new from him. So we go out to this graveyard. This is not significant to the quest, but just a little... not even really an Easter egg, but... it's an extra tidbit. Go to this grave. Yuri, beloved child, taken before his time. So it mentions Yuri. He mentioned Yuri in there, and this gravestone here is for Yuri as well. Taken before his time, so most have died. I don't know if that finger creeper that is cradling, if that's actually Yuri or just resembles Yuri somehow. So what we're gonna do now is go back to the hinterlands. And we're going to unlock a grace, kind of like right here. And then we're going to go here to fight a Fallingstar Beast. You should remember those from the base game. We're late day, so I'm going to go on and warp the time as well. All right. So just maintain the heading. You'll see we've got some of these kind of slug-looking dudes. They're all asleep, so I'm not going to worry about them. Right there's our grace. Go ahead and unlock that, and then we're going to fight the Fallingstar Beast. There's our beacon right frame, so I'm going to go ahead and take it away because we're already on the right heading there. Before we get there, I'm going to summon Mimic and buff up. This fight's a little bit tough. I mean, the Fallingstar Beasts are just real tanky. Oops, I still got that torch on. I'm going to take it off. There we go. But as with the base game, lots of gravity-based attacks. Where's Mimic? Is he even in here yet? Dodging to the side for those. There he is. Get out of the range. I'm going to do his tail swipe and throw a bunch of rocks at me. Wait till he gets back down here before I engage him again. There we go. Now he's on Mimic. Oh. If you hit him enough times, you should be able to stance break him. Oh, there's one of his gravity attacks. Back away and heal. There we go. There's a stance break. There we go. Oh, I was afraid I was going to be out of range for the crit. Well, we got it. Okay, almost dead. Mimic gonna get him? Nope, we're going to get him. All right, perfect. $170,000 runes for that, and gravitational missile we pick up. All right, so let's warp back to the Grace. Probably can level up here. Go ahead and throw this one in strength. All right, so we're going to equip the Blasphemous Blade because we're going to encounter a bunch of the finger creepers, and the Blasphemous Blade, they're weak to fire, or at least they get stunned by fire. So what we're going to do now is right around here, there is a gesture we can pick up. And then the next coffin is like right around here. And then there's a cave like here-ish that we can enter into. So to get to that spot, you're going to have to follow this path. Because otherwise, if you go over there, the cliff is too high to drop down from. So once you go down the path, just kind of follow along here. And there's another spot that I think we have to drop down to that You may have to go parallel to the cliffside to find a spot where we won't die when we drop. Yeah, that's probably too far. I'll drop right here. Took a little bit of damage from that fall, so that other one almost certainly would have killed us. Drop here, drop here. Let's head straight to our mark. There we go. Got the 2 fingers. Gesture. And over there, there's the coffin. Right here. So you want to duplicate. That's the 3rd one. And that's the last one as well, as far as I'm aware. If there's more than 3, let me know. I'm only aware of 3 of them. But here we got a bunch of these finger creepers. And this is where Blasphemous Blade is going to come in handy here. Be better if I lined a bunch of them up and did this. There we go. That was much better. Oh, who's attacking me? You don't technically have to attack these things, but there's so many of them that... it might be wise to take them out before we drop down. Because there's going to be a giant hand at the bottom of this. Let's see. Best spot to drop. Right here. Yeah. And unfortunately, the giant hand does not stun with fire. So I'm probably going to put my regular greatsword back on here. Definitely going to buff up for this fight. Cannot summon, unfortunately. But this thing's a doozy. You don't have to even kill it. You can just technically get on Torrent and just grab the item and bail. But we're going to fight it. It's probably going to annoy me greatly. Does crazy damage. And it's hard to get away from. Probably better, honestly, to use Bloodhound's Fang here. This might... oh, I'm surprised that didn't take me out. Yeah, being right underneath it, not necessarily a great strategy because you're just going to continually wallop you. But it is very hard to get space from it. Jeez. As you can see. Probably should have used my blue flask before too because I'm so busy. There we go. Finally got some space. This thing is a pain. And you don't even need to fight it. But I like to struggle. For no particular reason. And he's like attacking the wall now, which... almost got him. There we go. That is a pain, dude. Oh. Not even worth it. Barely get any runes from it. So my advice, take the item and leave. Right here, we have another item. Shadow Realm Rune 6. And over here, it is extremely foggy. Hard to even see where to drop down to, but right here. So where we're headed next, just straight to the middle. Blow the whistle. Let's get out of here. There's going to be a bunch of these slugs and whatnot along the way. Just beware. If you want to try to search for some of these crafting pickups, be my guest. Yeah, a bunch of these slugs. And these ones are harder to avoid because you can't really end around them. Like, you're basically forced to go down this path. And they'll try to shoot you with their projectiles. So as you're running, try to find places to take cover. Like the giant stone fingers sticking out of the ground. These actually have been pretty cooperative. They're not firing a bunch of projectiles at me. I've had it before where they're constantly firing their projectiles at me. So that was actually very nice. I'll take it. All right, got another horn. This is going to give us a talisman that increases the healing of our blue flask. Cerulean Seed Talisman +1. So now we're going to warp back to the Cathedral. Talk to our NPCs again.
I heard another sound. Simply exhilarating, the stars at, but rest assured, this is no. On the contrary, I believe that this portend. Now, may you join the.
All right, so we get a map to the third ruins, and this is the one that's underneath the throne. We've already been there.
Oh yes, this evening is a sign of.
So now he has another sorcery available for us. This is his last one. Also, he does sell Carry and Retaliation. We picked this up in the base game. If you don't have it already, I suggest picking it up. There is a enemy that we're going to have to parry in a future episode. And Carry and Retaliation, at least to my knowledge, actually gives you the biggest window for parrying if you have it equipped to a shield. It's even better than using a buckler parry as far as the number of frames it gives you to make a parry successful. All right.
Recall what I said, that Marika and the fingers that guided her were unsound from the start. Well, it is their mother who is damaged and unhinged. The fingers are but unripe children. We all a new mother.
It's a little bit of lore there. I mean, we've come across several of the two fingers. I think we've heard before that the two fingers, they're giving kind of unreliable advice, or at least old advice. Like they're not current and updated in what they tell you as far as, guidance is concerned. And so he's saying that the reason why they are corrupted is because something is wrong with their mother. So here we can rest. You should be gone again.
I told you, I've no interest. I must admit, Count Emir did perhaps an accept. Emir, in our eyes, our meeting with the... We know that we can, but we can peer up at it. We will never again. I have spoken for... Pay me no mind. I'll serve it.
Okay. So you don't really need to talk to her to advance the quest line, but she does have additional dialogue there, so I want to show it. So now we're going to go back below the throne, and since we've blown the other two whistles, we can now blow the one that is at the bottom here. All right, so we're going to climb down. It is a long way down. Sadly, you cannot use torrent in here. You just got to walk on foot. Is there a thing? No, thought I saw a craftable thing, but behind us. There's nothing over there, I don't think, except maybe a finger mimic. Yeah, there's a finger mimic over there, so might as well grab it. All right. We blow this whistle. And it transports us. So this is our next boss we're going to fight. This is the Mother of Fingers, as was alluded to earlier. So go on and buff up. before you engage. This fight's not too tough. She's got 2 phases. Reminds me a lot of Ebertas, of those of you who have played Bloodborne. Even the music a little bit reminds me a little bit of Ebertas, and she has like that similar grotesque, disgusting look. Has a couple laser attacks. You can, well, if you time it right, you can hop over that. I'm gonna wait till Mimic gets involved. She attacks with her head. Now the Mimic's in. So you notice that when she transforms to her second phase, you'll know that because in that little Y that's at the top there, she'll have a kind of a miniature black hole in there. And that's how you know that she's transformed. She'll do a lot more, she'll do a lot of AoE based attacks and stuff like that when she transforms. But it's double attack. So she's most vulnerable right there in the front. That's her weak spot. But then also a lot of her attacks come from that direction as well, so it's kind of risk-reward. See, I'm doing much more damage by hitting that weak spot. Now she's transforming. This is a big AoE. Got that black hole there. That's how you know that. Where's Mimic at? Big AoE. Did not get away from it. So these things are going to cause damage. Just kind of letting Mimic handle her for now. She does have some other attacks in their second phase. She has one where she elevates up in the air, but I was going to try to show it, but then Mimic took her out. So, and then she gets sucked right back into her black hole. But I think the lore is, well, we can read her remembrance. I think the remembrance gives you kind of a clue. Let's see. We got a remembrance. The mother of all 2 fingers in finger creepers was in turn a magnificently gleaming daughter of the greater will and the first shooting star to fall upon the lands between. So she came from kind of outer space, fell upon the lands between. I think it said she was the daughter of the greater will. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the cathedral. And the fun's not over yet, guys. We're going to level up. Probably can only get 1 level. Yeah. So this place is going to be empty. Go on and buff up. As soon as you touch this throne,
What have you done?
the party's on. So Yolan's going to invade us. She goes down pretty easy.
And I must attend to the Count's concerns.
All right, that's it for her.
My dear
Once you're done with Yolan,
fine mother, you will be.
My shining star, grant me a mother's strength. Look
and we got Emir.
at my
So he's going to talk for a second.
I will be the true mother.
You can't attack him while he's talking, so I'm going to go ahead and buff while he's talking.
Only mother.
And as soon as he's done talking, he's going to summon a bunch of finger creepers. He is pretty squishy. Now the thing is he can do that attack. So if you're right next to him and he does that, he can kind of spam it. That does a lot of damage, as you just saw there. So you can't just sit right next to him and spam attack him, because if he does that move, then it can be a problem. And he teleports all over the place, kind of annoying. But you see his HP is lacking, but not that hard to take him out.
I desired to be your mother.
So we got Emir's bell bearing. If we trade that in, that round table hole, we can purchase all of his spells. The maternal staff, high priest hat, high priest robe, high priest set. Got the staff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rest, and then Yolan's going to reappear. And we can talk to her. Let's see, is that enough to level up? It is not.
Count the stars.
So here's another place where you can use an Iris of Grace or an Iris of Oculation. If you use the Iris of Grace, you get her Spirit Ashes to summon. If you use the Iris of Oculation, you get her Katana, the Sword of Night, I believe it's called. Some people like that sword, some people don't. It's more of a Dex type weapon. I'm gonna get the summon, and the only reason why I'm going to get the summon here is because there's something else that I can show you that I'm going to show you if you get the summon. So I'm gonna take the summon. If you want the weapon, just consider kind of what your build is and what you want to be. The thing about the weapon, I think, is that I believe it ignores shields, but you don't have poise when you're trying to execute the attack. But could be good for PvP type scenarios, things like that. But I'm going to take the Spirit Ash for something I'm going to show you in just a bit. So I'm going to use the Iris of Grace. Again, if you want the weapon, use the Iris of Oculation.
As if our night simply never was.
All right, Sword Hand of Night Yolan. Got her Spirit Ashes. If you go out here, now that we're done with this quest, there's an item at this grave that I showed you guys earlier. Got the Cherishing Fingers. Surrounds the caster with a mesh of hefty fingers. I believe that's the attack that he was using that I mentioned was quite powerful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back here to the Hinterland Bridge. We're going to make our way back up to the Shaman Village. I'm going to mark it like right around here. There's a spot where actually we can drop down. And it takes us to a little secret. I'm going to pass the time until noon so we can see better. So all the way back up here. We could have done this earlier, but if we did it earlier without the Spirit Ash, we would not have been able to do the thing that we're about to do. This is back to the Shaman Village again. There was some interesting Marika lore here that we talked about earlier on. Very beautiful place. I mean, for as grotesque and as dark and dingy as some of these environments can be in From Software games, they are so good about just throwing in these beautiful landscapes that just kind of are breathtaking. So head right over here. It might not be at this exact spot, but there's a spot where you can drop down. You have to go around the other side here. So right here you can drop. No, that's not it. Here we go. And it is kind of a long path. A lot of drop downs, but we're going to get back to Rabbit's Rise, which we did quite a bit earlier as well. But you got to find the right spots, because if you drop down at the wrong spot, you're going to get yourself killed. Here we go. Just going to kind of look along the cliffs to find the next platform. It's good. Ooh, that was too far. Yep. Sadly, just as I was saying, I got myself killed. All right, so here we are again. Let's see if we can do it right this time. Hopefully. I haven't permanently lost my runes yet in this playthrough. Hopefully we don't start now. Although I don't know if they're going to be in a spot that you can actually get them back. We'll see. Yeah, this is a tricky section. Not going to lie. The spots to drop are very obscure. Here we go. Fall damage in Elden Ring makes no sense. There's some falls that you think you should be able to make easily and it kills you, and then there's some falls that you would swear would kill you and you don't take any damage. I need to find out where my runes are, first of all. There they are. Okay, now where? I can go over here. There we go. That was a mistake I made. Here. Hop over. Drop down to the balcony. All right. Very tough to get to this place, but here we are. So this is the very upper portion of Rabbit's Rise. This is a secret. We can interact with the puppet, and we can usher Anna into Sword Hand of Night Yolan's Spirit Ashes. So we can have the, if we say yes, the Yolan and Anna Ashes. So they are combined now. And you can examine and you can remove them just as we combine them. But we went through all the trouble, so we're going to leave them combined. What we can do here is drop down. And we have a bell bearing. It's going to allow us to pick up like great bolts that are infused with magic. Then you can drop all the way down. All that does is take us back to kind of the main area where we picked up the item here. So what we're going to do now is warp to Recluse's River downstream. We unlocked this grace a long time ago. We went here when we were exploring the Shadow Keep to get a Tree fragment. So warp here. So right next to this site of grace, you see there's a pot here. I'm going to first change the time of day. We're going to shoot the pot. You see it's going to drop out of reach for us all the way down there. We're going to get there in just a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to follow the path this way. It's going to take us to Fly Village. A bunch of the Manfly enemies here. It is a difficult section, and you'll see why in just a sec. So there's a bunch of the Manflies on the way down. I suggest taking most of them out because you don't want to be dealing with them after you drop down to the quote-unquote village, because we're going to fight a Curse Blade down there. And if you have a bunch of these fly mold or fly people attacking you at the same time, it is going to go badly. Because this is a horrible place to be fighting one of these things because you don't really have much room to work with. And then you got a bunch of these other enemies that are messing with you. It's bad news. So hopefully I can get this one over. I can alert some of these because I want to be fighting the Curse Blade by himself. There we go. I don't want to be fighting flies and the Curse Blade. Keep missing them. Hopefully. I locked onto him, but then went away. There we go. All right, I'm just going to go for it. There he is. Bad idea to heal there. See, and now I'm getting grabbed. I should have been patient. This is a... Oh, this encounter is so sketchy. I got grabbed again, really? All right. It worked. We're alive. Okay. Now we are in the village of the Manflies. Doesn't look like much of a village, but here we are. And there are a ton of these things. I got a barfer. So what you want to do is this rock around here, you kind of want to hug around to the right here. If you go that way, you're going to progress forward. You're not going to be able to get back up here. Then where we're headed now is like all the way in the back. Wanted to put a marker down. There's going to be a revered spirit ash for us. Here we go. There's another item up here. So many of these things. Civil Horde and Tinder. So now we're headed is like kind of up to the top of this hill. To progress straight northeast. And there's going to be an enchanter up here that's going to buff the enemies. You're going to want to take him out first. There's be a bunch more flies up here. But straight ahead, see that shadowy guy? He's going to be the enchanter. There's another enchanter back there. I don't think I can see him from here, can I? No. So right here on this cliff, got a shadow 4. Alright, gonna rush this guy. He just got up, and we got it before he got the buff off. Good. Oh, no, maybe we didn't. Yeah, he's definitely buffed. Alright, take the beacon off. Up here we get the fly mold spirit ashes. Or fly, whatever they're called. Manfly ashes. We can go around this rock. Pick up a golden horn tinder. Okay, so now we're just going to work back to the Grace. All right, so make sure that that thing we shot down is still down, yeah. So it's going to be ready for us to pick it up later. So we're going to follow this. I'm going to kind of go around this way. So here we got a fly mold. There's a little cave in here. Somewhere. Where's the cave? There it is. Inside of here we got a body with nascent butterflies. As soon as you pick it up, a bunch of fly people are going to drop down. Ah, I got grabbed. Okay, so now we're going to hop over to where those birds are. Don't think there's anything over here. Yeah, we're good. And we took this drop down before to get the Erdtree fragment. But now we're going to drop all the way down. Before we did not drop all the way down. We just dropped down far enough to get this to get the fragment. So right up here, if you follow that river, that's where we got the fragment. So now we're going to drop all the way down. And over here, there's going to be a scarab that has a somber stone in it. Take that out. Whoop. There we go. Somber 8. We're going to backtrack here to this waterfall. Human bone shard. The dry leaf set. And then this way to the east. I can't pull up my map, sadly, because these count as enemies that are aggroed to me. But just follow this path to the east. We got another mausoleum. This enemy's not too bad. He's got a great katana. Causes bleed. He's not too bad. As long as you keep your distance from him and use projectiles. Buff up before we go in. We got Rakshasa. Try saying that 5 times fast. Or if you're me, try saying that at all. So he does have a bit of range with this katana that he's got. It's quite large. As I said, it does bleed, so watch out. And that's the Ash of... Oof. That's the Ash of War that you want to watch out for. So much like the other Mausoleum guys, you kill him and you get his weapon. And it's a very good weapon. I think it's more dex-based, though. We're also going to get his armor. His armor is also very good. You can chug a flask. So while he flasks, we're going to flask. Oh, that was bad. So you see when he stomps his foot there? That's how you know he's going to do his Ash of War, where it's kind of the double slash. So I'm going to heal up here. Keep your distance. Do your Ash of War. Knock him over. Give him a big whack. He's got no flask left. I don't know why they make him do that flash animation even when they only have 1 flask. Oh, I was hoping to knock him out of the air there. He might get me here. Oh, that was close. That was close. I'm not careful. I'm going to get blood here. I'm intentionally trying to keep my distance because he does have pretty decent range with that weapon. If I can knock him down. There we go. Do a charged heavy. Got him. $90,000 souls for that. Or runes, I should say. We got Rakshasa's great katana. And his armor. So a little bit about the armor. The great katana, more of a dex type weapon. 27 dex to use it, causes blood buildup. So this armor increases damage dealt to foes, but greatly increases damage taken by the wearer. So from what I've heard about this is that it doesn't give you like a negative status effect that increases your damage, but if you compare this armor to other armor sets of comparable weight, this armor set gives you much less damage negation than those other armor sets of comparable weight. But what this does is each of these pieces increases your attack power by 2%. So if you equip the entire set, that gives you a total of an 8% boost to your overall damage. So it can be a very good thing to consider. I'm not going to equip it, but, you know, use at your own discretion. Okay, so now we're going to drop down. And there are tombstones right here where you can drop down. Take out this dragonfly. It's gonna annoy me. Or just completely whiff. Alright, whatever. You're making a fool of me in the middle of my walkthrough. A mere dragonfly. So that item there, that is the bell bearing we knocked down. So I'm just going straight down, kind of northwest. Just dropping straight down these tombstones sticking out. He killed himself. I don't know how that works. A dragonfly can fly, but he killed himself. So we got the Mold Monger's Bell Bearing. This allows us to purchase fly mold at Round Table Hold when you turn in the Bell Bearing. And there's another item right here. Class shards. Yippee. So now we can drop down the remaining tombstones to get to the bottom. Just drop carefully. Most of these you can just walk off of. Get to the next one. This one I'm going to do a little hop. So let's continue in this direction. Drop down to this one. And got another one here. Hop. And we can just get straight down. Got a little dew gem here. So now we're just at the bottom of this waterfall here. And up here, somewhere there's a cave along this wall. The tiny little indentation. I think it's closer to this waterfall over here. Yeah, this waterfall. To the left is a cave. There's some scorpion liver. Now, if you remember the hippo at Charo's Hidden Grave, we got 2 of them here. And these guys are not tough. They're not nearly as tough as the boss we fought in Shadow Keep. They don't have the second phase, and I want to say their attacks just don't even hit as hard. So you can summon here. I'm just going to choose not to. We can take these out pretty easily. Just make sure you grab their bite. 2 specials should stagger them. But probably took too long. So he's probably not going to stagger here. Yeah, he was blocked by the tree. That was actually very fortunate for me. Yep, dodged too early there. Yeah, if you hit him quickly enough with 2 specials, you can get a stagger pretty quickly. All right, so there's one Erdtree fragment. Up here on this rock in the middle, there's an item we can pick up. And then there's our second hippo. Just sneak up behind him. Then hit him. Oh, he went straight for the bite there. Ah, dang it. Messed up my combo. Oh well. So we can get the stagger here. There we go. This should be the end of him. Hit the crit. Perfect. And we got another Erdtree fragment. So I think that might be our third one. Right here, you notice there's little tombstones jutting out. That's how you drop down to this area here. There's really nothing down here except for a catacomb, so don't worry about scouring this little that little plateau for loot. There's really nothing else up here either, other than the hippos and I think they were smithing stones that we picked up. And a couple of those skulls that have broken runes in them that are worth nothing for us. All right, so down the tombstones we go. Take this beacon off. Let's see, we're at 55 minutes so far, roughly. We're going to do the catacombs. We're going to do it. It's going to take us over an hour for sure, but we're going to do the catacombs. Because that gives us a nice break point for the next episode if we finish this now. All the way down. If I remember right, this one's not that long. Can be dangerous though. Got 430,000 runes. Definitely can grab a level here. And we can level up our Tree Blessing to 16. So yeah, let's take the level here. Put it into mind. Move a 198, not too bad. Okay. So there's going to be an imp ambush up here. Got a pogo stick on the greatsword. And barely not one-shot him. That's a shame. All right. Got a grave 5 there. So you see, it's difficult to see in this catacomb. Darklight Catacombs, very aptly named. But there are instances where we're going to be able to pull levers to be able to reveal light. Another couple imps here. And the greatsword varieties, they can drop their greatswords. All right, so there's a cannon imp right there, if you notice. So you want to kind of rush him after he shoots. Hide behind the wall there to make him fire into the wall. And then back behind here, we're going to have our first light switch. Let there be light. All right. Now that we have that taken care of, circle around here. And so this is technically the main progression path, but you notice there's also a pathway if you hop over the railing. Let's do this. Don't go too far forward or you'll fall all the way down. And right here in the middle, there's a gap. We're going to drop down on top of this right here. We got a treasure chest right in front of us. All right, greatly increases stamina. Now we're going to drop down to this path right here in the middle. You turn back, there's going to be a mage. Take that out real quick. And there's a item in here, along with some of the yellow fulgur blooms. There's going to be some imps in here. So if you took that main progression path that I pointed out earlier, I showed that that's like I showed, hey, this is the main progression path. This would drop you down here. So it's in the dark, there's a bunch of imps, and there's a couple ladders you have to climb down, but it gets you here, and you miss the item that we just got. You missed the talisman that we got in the treasure chest. So yeah, if you came, you would come from up there. You would have had to go down a couple ladders, and then it would spit you out right here. So it takes you to the same place, and you get better stuff. So just showing you how this all wraps around. And there's another place like that in this next area where you can take the main progression path, you just fight a bunch of enemies, drop down in the dark, or you take the hidden path for more stuff. And that's exactly what we're going to do. All right, now that we're down the elevator, another dark room, but we're going to fix that. There is something over there, don't get it yet. We're going to circle back around there later. Down here, kill this imp. I'm gonna head back kind of north to this spot, go all the way to the back. Dude's gonna drop down, kill him. And then around here is a ladder. We're gonna climb to the top. Then up here, go straight back. Is a drop down. That's where our lever is to light this place up. Okay, so drop down. Got the stairs here, thin beast bones. So this is the progression route. If you go this way, you drop down, you fight a bunch of stuff. You miss the good loot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go all the way back to the top of the stairs here. You notice we have ourselves another ledge right here. So we're gonna hop over to that. Probably safer to hop straight across rather than try to drop down to the side and risk falling off. Go around here, and we have ourselves a ladder right here that we can climb up. So that loot that I told you to skip earlier, the reason why is because if you go that way, you're gonna get sniped by a mage that's up here. So don't take the item, go right around the corner, hit the mage first. He's gonna be sniping you if you try to take that item down there. So, and you missed the item up here too. So get the Shadow Realm Rune 5. Drop down, there's an imp right behind this column. I'm getting pogo sticked to death. That's awesome. There we go. And it's hilarious. I did this dungeon on a different character before. And I got 3 of the lizard greatswords in this one dungeon. I have yet to get a single one on this character. Crazy. So now, instead of taking that main progression path that I showed you earlier, you notice there's a gap in the railing here. There's a tiny little platform you can drop down onto. So drop here. And then this part is a little bit tricky. There's a mage right here in the back. Take him out so he can't cast his magic. And back here's an item. And this is the Death Knight set. Very cool armor. Imp drops down after you pick it up. Enhances skills and incantations of the capital's ancient dragon cult. The decayed golden wheel that adorns it represents their unbroken loyalty to Godwyn, he who became the Prince of Death. Cool stuff. We can go down this ladder. All the way down. And in here, there's going to be another mage around the corner. Prioritize taking him out first rather than grabbing the item. I think it's to the right. Hope I pick right. Here it is. There he is. Oh, you see that damage, though. Ouch. Ugh. Fortunately, we've got a stake America that we can respawn at, so we don't have to do this whole thing over again. Ugh. I wonder if it's better to trigger his attack and then go back in and then rush him. Normally, I don't know that I've ever died to him before, though. Man, that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Thing is, if you don't go this way, he's going to be up on that platform sniping you, and you can't get to him if you take the other way. I'm going to see if I can poke in. You done yet? Yeah, so I'm going to hide back in here. And then go get him. There we go. That's a safe way to do it. Much better. All right. I grab this. I'm going to end up dropping down here. And this is where he would have went had you taken the stairs. And if you took the stairs, he would have been right there sniping you. So, yeah, definitely better to go the way that we went. Plus, you get the better items anyways. All right, go down the elevator. This place, this section is fun here. So, you have a choice here. Do you want a Great Ghost Glovewort or not? If you do not want a Great Ghost Glovewort, see that guy right there? I suggest just cheesing him, snipe him with your bow, because he's going to cause you problems. If you do want the Great Ghost Glovewort, you're going to have to deal with him for a little bit, because thing is, if you kill him now, the loot is going to spawn on top of that platform, and then the thing is to get to that, you have to lower the platform, and when you lower the platform, the loot stays up in the air, and you won't be able to grab it. It'll be out of reach. So, just got to bum rush him, try to dodge through his attacks, and I'm going to take these guys out under here where he won't be able to shoot me, because these guys will cause a problem later. Now the lever that we need to pull is all the way back here, so just run for your life. Run for your ever-loving life. All right, there we go. Pull the lever, and that's going to lower this platform so we can actually run up to him and kill him now. It's also going to light up the place. You see that's coming down. If we had... He's still stuck in the air. What the heck? There we go. He just transported down. That was teleported down. That was awesome. Okay, so wait till he fires. Dodge to the side. Wait till he fires. Dodge to the side. And then just bum rush him. Because when you're right in front of him, he can't hit you. There we go. Now I can get the Great Ghost Glovewort. If that's not worth it to you, just snipe him from afar. Ditch the item. You'll be A-okay. Now if you go back here, there's a smaller cannon enemy in here with an item. Bum rush him before he gets a chance to do anything about it. Pick up a Ghost Glovewort 8. All right. So now if we go behind this platform that we lowered when we pulled the lever. Again, this was raised before, so now we can get behind it. There is a treasure chest. Big Mouth, Imp Ashes. Climb the ladder. And this is just going to take us right back to the main path. And then it's pretty much boss time. And this boss, oof. This boss is quite annoying. Not going to lie. This boss is super spammy. And not only is it spammy, it also summons ads. And a lot of ads. It's so annoying. It can be very, very dangerous. But definitely going to summon for it. And just hope we survive. Not my favorite boss in the game. Fortunately, I think there's a Stake of America right outside the fog gate, so if we die, we start right there. Definitely going to buff up. Kind of the best way to do this is to bum rush and cause as much damage as you can. The thing is that it teleports, and when it teleports, it does damage to you if you're right next to it. And just heal whenever you can. I mean, yeah, this boss is really spammy and summons ads. That's really all you need to know. It's a pain. I'm going to summon Mimic right when we get in here. Problem is it can projectile you right at the start. So dodge through the projectile. And then see this, it does this nonsense where it's like a bunch of these arcs. And then it does this spiral thing. Even if you hit it while it's doing the spiral thing, it doesn't knock it out of doing the spell. So there's a teleport. It hits you. Probably going to summon a bunch of... Oh, still doing the giant wave here. Now doing the mini waves. Trying to do as much damage. And it's pretty... It has a lot of HP. The giant arc is probably the easiest one of its attacks to dodge. It's definitely going to start summoning now. See, look at all this crap. And it gets the big one that does, like, really difficult stuff to dodge. All these horn scent. I'm just spamming R1. Hoping to... Oh, yes, I got a stagger. See, as I said, the best strategy is just to bum rush the thing. And if it teleports, it's going to do a little bit of damage. Just heal. And then hope, you know, you saw what he summoned. And generally when he summons, it's a bunch of the little horn scents and the big horn scent. With that, we get the Barbed Staff Spear. If you want to do his spammy, tiny arch attack thing, then use that weapon. You need faith for it, though. So. All right. So we got this Grace, which is what we wanted. Level up. Go back to Strength. And I'm actually going to go back to Round Table Hold because it's been a while since we've been back there, and I've got a bunch of bell bearings to turn into the maidens. Offer. Yeah, I got all this stuff. Emir's bell bearing, Moore's bell bearing, all the ones I've been picking up along the way. I don't think I've turned any of these in yet. Now you notice we go to the shop. Let's see, purchase. We can now purchase fly mold, mushrooms, the knot resin, the string, all this stuff that we've been picking up along the way. The Rabbith's Great Bolt, that's the one we got at the Rabbith's Rising, that secret that we went to in this episode. And Emir's should be here. Get all of his spells, more, get all of Moore's stuff. So, very nice. And we're at over an hour and 10 minutes. So this is the longest episode so far in this series. I've been keeping them closer to 30 to 40 minutes before, but these last couple ones have gotten away from me. I've just wanted to accomplish a lot in these last couple episodes, and we have, so successfully. So can't complain there. But now it is time to call it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hope to see you next time. Stay tuned. We are going to go into the Abyssal Woods, have ourselves a lot of fun. And I mean that semi-sarcastically. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.